Hello and namaste. Welcome to Paunaskitchen.com. Today I'm going to show you yummy Diwali sweet recipes. Today I'm preparing Kesar Badam Katli. Saffron flavored almond fudge. So to prepare the Kesar Badam Katli, here I have badam powder, about 1.5 cups of almond powder. To that I'm going to add just a pinch of a food color. It's totally optional. I have the yellow food color in a powdered form. And here I have saffron. Kesar. I'm just going to take few strands of a saffron into this stone mortar. Little goes long way. Just slightly crush saffron. Add into the almond powder. Now if you are not a big fan of saffron, you can add other flavors such as cardamom. Here I have half cup of powdered sugar. Make sure you use powdered sugar for this recipe. And here I have lukewarm water. Make sure you do not take hot water, just lukewarm water. Mix all dry ingredients first before you start adding water. There is one more thing. If you would like to add some milk powder in it, you can add about 2 tablespoons of milk powder into this recipe. Perfect. So this is mixed very well. And now it's time to warm it up a little bit, this mix. You can either use stove top or you can use microwave. I'm just going to quickly use microwave just for 30 seconds. I'm going to warm up this mixture. The reason to warm up this mix is that I want to make a kind of a nice dough, tight dough. So this will help us to prepare the dough quickly. So I'm going to add just a teaspoon of water at a time. And this time I'm just going to use my hands so that I exactly know how much water I need. I have added about a tablespoon so far. And you can see that the mixture has got crumbly already and it looks a little wet as well. So now no more water and knead it to form into the dough. So it took only just a little bit more than a tablespoon of water. Alright, so look at this dough is ready. Now I'm going to take a little amount of ghee in my hand and smooth out this dough. If you add milk powder, then it will be more like a badam burfi. And I usually do not like to add milk powder in this recipe just because I want to make pure badam katli. And if you do not add milk powder, you can store this badam katli at room temperature. That's the best thing about it. So I don't like to add milk powder, but if desired you can. Perfect. And now it's time to roll. So make a nice ball like this. Take wax paper. You can use any kind of surface, but I use wax paper just because I don't want to use too much of ghee. And when you use wax paper, it doesn't stick. So onto the wax paper, slightly press it. Start rolling. And I want to roll about 1/4 inch thin. So you saw that how easy it is, no cooking required. And you can prepare badam katli in no time. Alright, so perfect. I want to keep it nice and little thick. Now ready to cut. Separate apart, and if desired you can decorate with silver warak, and silver warak is totally optional. Our Kesar Badam Katlis are ready to serve onto the plate. So this was all about preparing quick and easy Kesar Badam Katli. To prepare Kaju Pista rolls, take 1¼ cup of cashew powder and little less than 1 cup of pistachio powder. Into the cashew powder, add ½ cup of sugar. I can feel it mix very well. 2 drops of rose water. Again, give it a quick mix and add about ½ tablespoon of water at a time. Alright, so perfect. Okay, I'm going to keep this on the side, and now do the same thing with pistachio. Less than ½ cup of sugar this time. Mix it. Add few drops of green food coloring. This is totally optional. before I start adding water. Add half tablespoon of water and start mixing. This will also take very less amount of water, so be very careful. Alright, so this one is ready as well. And now roll it thin as much as you can. Okay, so I have rolled. You can see that how thin it is. Cut from center and then divide pistachio into 2 balls and make thin log. Make it long enough to cover the whole cashew roll. Perfect. And now start rolling from one end and make tight roll. This wax paper, it makes a lot more easier. Okay, now separate it and then just roll it like this. Perfect. And the same way I'm going to prepare another roll. Rolls ready and ready to cut. Cut and just you can snack on it. Look at this Kaju pista roll. Looks so yummy. And look at this tray. If you want to decorate with warak, just put the whole roll on it and then just roll it. Then put another roll on the other side. And look at these rolls now. The same way you can prepare Kaju Katli or Pista Katli, any nut Katli you can prepare in no time using the same recipe. नमस्ते, welcome to Bhavna's Kitchen. आज बनाएंगे इंस्टेंट जलेबी. मैंने जलेबी की कई रेसिपी ऑलरेडी शेयर की है on YouTube. The first one was traditional way with yogurt. The second one was with yeast. And today I am making with ENO. ENO is a fruit salt which gives instant fermentation to any batter. And jalebi comes out so perfect. You can already see it here. So let's get started. First I'm going to make sugar syrup. Here I have 2 cups of sugar. To that I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to bring this to boil on a high heat first. Give it a quick stir. It's been 3 minutes and sugar has dissolved now. So this is the simple sugar syrup now. But I want single thread syrup. Once it comes to the boil, bring down the temperature on a low heat and continue cooking. On a candy thermometer, I wait until it reaches close to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. When the syrup is done, I add a little bit of a rose syrup, just a few drops, and a few threads of kesar, saffron. Flavoring is totally optional when you make jalebi. Give it a stir. And sugar syrup is ready. So sugar syrup हो गया ready. चलो अब बनाते हैं खीरू, batter to prepare jalebi. Now let's make batter खीरू. Into this cup I'm going to take 1 cup of maida, all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of besan, chickpea flour, 2 tablespoons of rice flour, or 1 tablespoon of cornstarch you can use. If desired, you can add a little bit of a color, yellow color I'm using here, and this is a food color. And always use the good quality. Now give it a good whisk first to all dry ingredients. Perfect. Now add water slowly. Do not add all water at the same time. Keep adding water as you go to prepare lump-free batter. Now when you have a lump-free thick batter like this, at this point I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm just going to eyeball here. So that's about 2 tablespoons of oil and a little bit more water. And now prepare easy to pour batter. Stir vigorously. And now I'm going to add more water. So for 1 cup of atta, it takes about 1 cup of water, but you want to add slowly so that you know exactly how much water you need, because sometimes it may take more or less water. And this is how, just a little thinner. So it took almost 1 cup of water, and this is how first make the batter. Next, here I have fruit salt known as Eno. It's Eno brand fruit salt. I'm going to add about half teaspoon of Eno. A quarter to half teaspoon would be just enough. And to activate Eno, I'm using lime here. So just a few drops of a lime juice and it will activate Eno very well. So this is for instant fermentation. Perfect. The batter will get light and fluffier once you add Eno. And now ready to make jalebis. Let me show you one more time the batter consistency. This is how it should be. And now here I have bottle, and I'm going to pour the batter into the bottle. Perfect. मैंने तेल गरम किया हुआ है और रेडी टू मेक जलेबीज. शुरू में जलेबी शायद अच्छी ना भी बने, बट प्रैक्टिस करने पे आ जाएगी. तो फ्राई करते रहे जलेबी को जब तक ये क्रिस्पी हो जाती है, मीडियम टू हाई हीट पे, और तेल अच्छी तरह गर्म होना चाहिए. जब जलेबी क्रिस्पी हो जाए तो उसको ट्रांसफ़र करें शुगर सिरप में, और शुगर सिरप में थोड़ी देर रहने दें, अबाउट 30 सेकंड्स. लेट जलेबी एब्जॉर्ब शुगर सिरप प्रॉपरली. 30 सेकंड के बाद जलेबी को शुगर सिरप से निकाल ले. गर्मा गर्म जलेबी खाने का मज़ा ही कुछ और है. तो ये हो गई हमारी जलेबी रेडी. ये जलेबी बहुत ही क्रिस्पी बनती है. I hope you can hear it. Very crunchy and tastes so amazing. So yummy. The flavor of rose brings out so great. I hope I made it easier for you to prepare jalebi, instant jalebi.
Namaste, welcome to bhavnaskitchen.com. Today I'm making dudno halwa. Made from milk. Traditionally it takes a lot of time to prepare this recipe, but today I'm going to show you how to make quick version of it. Traditionally only milk is used, so it takes a lot of time to make the milk solid. Today I'm going to use already available solid milk known as milk mawa. But if you do not have mawa, you can visit my website for traditional recipe. Milk powder can be used as well. So let's start preparing dudno halwa. Alright, so I'm going to start by heating up this pot over here on a medium heat. And make sure to stay by the stove while you prepare this recipe. Now initially to prepare this recipe, all I'm going to use is milk mawa and condensed milk. And I'm using store-bought ready-made milk mawa. You can make milk mawa at home using milk powder as well. So first I'm going to add this condensed milk, 1 can of condensed milk, and also this mawa, 3 cups of mawa. 1 cup of milk, and now keep stirring continuously until it gets thickened. Now there are few optional ingredients as well. Here is kesar, saffron, and cardamom, elaichi. Both of these ingredients bring out nice flavor. If you have them, I would recommend to add them. Mixture has got a little bit hot, so at this point ready to add saffron, kesar, and now just keep cooking. I have been cooking this halwa for about 10 minutes now. It has got nice and thick, you can see that. At this point I'm going to add about a tablespoon of ghee, clarified butter, and again keep cooking until it gets a little thicker. Now you don't want to make it too thick, otherwise when your halwa cools down it will get hard, which you don't want that to be happen. So you want to turn off the stove as soon as you see that there is no liquid left and the mixture looks nice and thick. You can see that it moves with the spatula, it does not stick on the side anymore, and ghee also oozes out a little bit. It depends how much ghee you have added. If you add a very little ghee, it will be hard for you to see. So this is the perfect time to turn off the stove, and look at this, how thick it is. If desired, you can add food color. Traditionally it looks like a kind of a little bit brown color halwa, so you can add just a little bit of a drop of a brown color, or you can just leave it as it is. So I added just a little bit of a color, and look at this now, beautiful color. And now the last ingredient, cardamom. As soon as you add cardamom, elaichi, the aroma is all over your house. Yummy. I'm going to take out into this plate here. Now the same recipe you can use to make paneer halwa. Instead of milk mawa, use shredded paneer. And on the top, here I have some almond. You can use any of your favorite nut. And I can't wait to give it a bite. So this was all about preparing dudhno halwa. I have taken out a little bit into the plate here. I'm going to cut now.
Namaste, welcome to bhavanaskitchen.com. Today I'm making motichur bundi laddu barfi. So let's start. First, I'm going to prepare sugar syrup mixture. To make sugar syrup, I'm going to take 1 cup of sugar and half cup of water. Most people get confused how much water to add when sugar syrup is prepared. For most Indian dessert, usually water is added until all the sugar is soaked. And then depending on the thread that you want to prepare, you cook until certain temperature. Today I'm going to prepare single thread consistency. So single thread consistency, it takes about anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes, and on your candy thermometer it is 230 to 234 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you don't have candy thermometer, don't worry, you can use your thumb and first finger to check the sugar syrup consistency. So I'm going to bring this to boil. Once it comes to the boil, I'm going to simmer it until I get single thread consistency. In the beginning, heat up the sugar syrup on a high heat. Sugar has already melted, and now let it come to the boil. Once sugar syrup is boiling, bring down the temperature on a medium heat and let it simmer for another 6 minutes or so, or until you get 1 thread consistency. And here I have kesar, saffron. Take few strands of saffron and grind it to powder. Sugar syrup has been simmering for a few minutes now, so at this time I immerse candy thermometer. So I'm just going to continue cooking sugar syrup until it reaches 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, so it has reached to 230 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to turn off the stove. Remove the candy thermometer and ready to add ground kesar, saffron. Just give it a stir and keep this on the side right now. Contrary to what people think, making bundis at home is so much fun, and today I'll show you how. Here I have 1 cup of loosely filled chickpea or garbanzo flour besan. And it is good idea to sieve through all dry ingredients to prepare lump-free batter faster. And 1 tablespoon of semolina rava or suji known as. Just a pinch of yellow food color. You can simply use pinch of turmeric for natural color. Just pinch of baking soda. Baking soda is optional. Some people add, some people do not. And now I'm going to sieve all dry ingredients. Look at all these lumps. Alright, and here I have water. Now the amount of water it takes always depend on the flour. If flour is too old, it will take more water. If the flour is new, it will take less water. So I usually do not prefer to give the amount of water used in recipes. And I add water slowly so that it doesn't form lumps. Once it is nice and smooth, add the rest of the water until you get kind of a pancake batter or dosa batter consistency. Easy to pour batter. You can see that it flows easily. And now here I have oil. I have already taken 1.5 cups of oil, and to that I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of ghee, clarified butter, and heat up the oil and ghee on a medium heat. Usually most Indian sweet dessert recipes are fried in ghee to get the authentic flavor. But these days people do not like to use much ghee. So what I normally do, I use mix of oil and ghee to fry bundis. But it always up to you. And now I'm going to talk about special utensil that you will need to prepare bundis. You can use a ladle with holes like this. I have also this one with small holes in it. Or you can use something like this. And for this recipe, you don't have to have perfect bundis. So if you are not good at even preparing bundis, this recipe is for you. And I'll show you why. When the oil and ghee is hot enough, take ladle spoon with the holes in it and keep the distance of about 6 inches. Do not keep it too high or too low. Take your batter into the cup like this, so it's a lot more easier to pour the batter, and start making bundis. We don't want crispy bundis for this recipe, so make sure you do not fry until it gets crispy. Make sure you keep them soft. So as bundis float on top, just remove them and bring down onto the paper towel. Make sure to clean your ladle every time you prepare bundis. Alright, I'm done with making all the bundis. Look at them, they have come out so perfect. And now it's time to add into sugar syrup. Now it's possible that your sugar syrup might have become cold at this point while you make your bundis. So turn the heat on again and just warm it up. Alright, I can feel that the syrup is warm. Turn off the stove and ready to add all the bundis into the sugar syrup. Mix it well with sugar syrup. So make sure you stir again in about a minute or so to bring all the sugar syrup on the top. Now if you simply want to prepare laddus, make laddus while it is still warm. Just grease your hands with ghee, clarified butter. It's very important to grease your hands with the clarified butter when you make laddus. And there you have your bundi laddus ready. I have already shared the recipe. This is just a little twist of the recipe that I shared earlier. I shared bundi and motichur laddus. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grind these bundis. So just in case if you do not have motichur bundi makers, you can just make big bundis and then grind and you can make motichur laddus. So here I have this food processor. I'm going to get all the bundis into the food processor and just add about tablespoon of very hot water and grind to a coarse. Make sure you do not make it too fine. Just lightly pulse it. You can see now that it looks like a very tiny bundis. You can see that now it looks like a motichur mixture. And now take out, and here I have cardamom, elaichi, and I want ground cardamom. So using stone mortar, grind it. I'm going to add ground cardamom. Now give it a quick mix and ready to take out. If you don't have time to make laddus, if you are making in a big quantity, barfi is the best option. Just settle it down. Alright, so I'm going to let this settle down a couple of hours. If desired, you can decorate this motichur barfi with warak, silver leaves, edible silver leaves. But I'm just going to simply garnish lots of sliced almond and pistachio on top. Just to press them lightly into the barfi. You can just serve immediately, but I like to let it settle down a little bit. So the barfi has settled down, and I'm just going to cut, and look at this barfi. I can't wait to feed myself first. You cannot experience this mouth-melting moment unless you make it. Look at this plate. If you do not like to make barfis, you can still prepare laddus anytime out of this barfi. So here I have this mixture, and you can see that how easily you can prepare the laddus. And then you can use cupcake liners to put them in, and look at this yummy looking laddus. So this was about preparing motichur bundi barfis laddus. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another great recipe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another great recipe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another great recipe.